Hello and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network. Tonight we are at Charlotte for 200 laps in the round of 8. I do believe we have 7 drivers though. Long race tonight at Charlotte, 200 laps. It'll be definitely interesting to see how these guys approach Charlotte after what we saw last week at Talladega. These guys are about to wrap up practice here, but we can go over last week's podium. We saw Jay Stinson take the win. Peyton Keller finishing second, and Patrick Hernandez round out the top 3 podium with a photo finish there at the line. Basically, three wide door to door there out at Talladega to make that a super close race. Pretty quiet race last week for the most part for the whole duration of that race. Only one caution. Nothing too crazy happened. Looking at the points coming into tonight, we do have 7 drivers in the chase for the round of 4, which is next week at Martinsville. Going to be a super exciting championship race once we get to next week. But right now, coming into tonight, we see Peyton Keller currently still in that first position in points with a little bit of a lead over second place Jay Stinson. Jay moved up one spot after grabbing the win by just, I think it was 6/1000ths of a second. Hopefully the stream is looking okay. I was having technical difficulty on there in the middle of practice, and YouTube wasn't cooperating with me on the resolution I was trying to run. So that's a interesting ordeal that was taking place. On a brand new computer tonight, brand new mic, completely new setup. Back to the points though, Patrick Hernandez is currently sitting in third. Chris Bingley was able to move up one spot to come in tonight in that fourth position. Kirby Wainscott fifth, Samuel Katz sixth, and Kerry Klein dropping 2 spots, which we saw last week. He had a really bad luck, unfortunately. Looking at the schedule, we are in week 11 at Charlotte for the last Stam 400. Very last race before the championship 4 race next week at Martinsville. Rounding out the season, find out after tonight who goes to the championship 4 next week, and then figure out who's going to be this inaugural season for the Revenant Racing League season 1 champion. You got about a little under a minute and a half left in practice. See some of these guys out on track, turning laps, finishing up practice, and here in a little bit we'll go down trackside for our national anthem and then kick this night off. After practice wraps up, we'll have a 10-minute qualifying, and then green flag somewhere right around 9:10 Eastern or so. Again, tonight it is 200 laps around this track. Charlotte's super exciting track, super fun to race. There's a couple multi grooves we can see in practice here. It is going to be a race under the lights. Looking at our race info right fast. It is a 1.5 mile track, air temperature 72, overcast, winds at 7 miles an hour. Track temperature is 75, so it's super cool track. These guys may end up dealing with a little bit of a tight car if they don't manage that tire wear as they go into a longer run. With it being such a long track, about 20 seconds left in qualifying or in practice, so we'll head on over and go right to the national anthem. Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Qualifying is underway. Kerry Klein making this should be his first lap around, I do believe. Nope, goes straight to the top of the leaderboard. That was his first lap. Some of these guys on their outlap. Chris Bingley dropping down to third. Sam Katz now third. Chris Bingley down to fourth because Peyton Keller, our current points leader, jumps to the top of the leaderboard. Hopefully my paints is working. I did not double check that. Patrick Hernandez jumps up to P3. Kerry Klein wrapped up his last lap, did not improve any. These guys do have 2 laps. There is some strategy at play a little bit whenever you have that 10-minute qualifying session. Some guys will opt to go right out on the track right at the beginning of qualifying to try to get those times in early. Other guys will have to go towards the end of qualifying, waiting for the track temp to come down. Definitely a little bit of a strategy play there whenever it comes to qualifying in these 10-minute sessions. We see Peyton Keller still at the top of the leaderboard in qualifying. The number 26 of Jason Anderson moves into 6th place with his first time lap. Yeah, Toby, I can't do a broadcast without doing the national anthem. We do have 7 viewers watching currently, so welcome to the Vortex Racing Network. This is the Revenant Racing League, and we are at Charlotte for a cutoff race to the Championship 4. My name is Buddy Slee, and I'm the commentator and producer for tonight's show. So if anything's messed up or you guys want to see anything different, just shout out. I will also be paying attention to chat, so if you got something to say, got a driver to root for, go ahead and shout them out right in chat, and I'll call it out on air. All a big family here with the Vortex Racing Network, and try to involve everyone between the drivers on track and the audience watching. Super fun to involve the audience in these broadcasts just to kind of keep things interesting. We do have Sean Harvey out on track completing his second lap here, see if he's able to improve off of 5th place. And it looks like he is going to maintain that 5th position, 0.2 of a second back from the pole that is currently set by Peyton Keller. Toby Tripp coming out on track. Oh, finishing up his second lap there, currently sitting in 11th place. Kirby Wainscott, the one car that we currently have that has not put a lap down yet. Toby Tripp pacing down the back stretch a little bit. Got about 5 minutes left in qualifying, so we'll have to see if Kirby Wainscott decides to lay down a lap or just opts to not qualify and run back here towards the end or the back. Absolutely, Framer. I'll never ever do, like I was saying earlier, I'll never do a broadcast without doing that. It is a tradition for me, and I can't just bring myself to not throw that in there anytime we do one of these broadcasts. Jason Anderson. I'll just try to remember that with the username or whatever. That way, if I see some chatter in chat, I'll know who to associate that name with. We do have Patrick Hernandez currently sitting in 4th place. He is running one of the cams this week, kind of like he was running last week. So we do have that. Got about 4 minutes left in qualifying. I don't really have a whole lot to do. It looks like Kirby Wainscott is making his way out on track here for his finishing up his first out lap. See what he's able to lay down to wrap up qualifying here. And this is some of that strategy, I think, at play where he's able to lay down a heater of a lap going to second on the leaderboard. Cooler track, tires grip a little bit better. See if he's able to improve on his second lap. Kind of misread my how many laps he's done a little bit here. Off of turn 4, across the start finish line, and see if he's able to steal the pole from Peyton Keller. And it does not look like it is going to be good enough to do that. So Kirby Wainscott and number 10 going to be starting on the outside, which once qualifying wraps up, we will have our starting grid and all that fun stuff. Nothing wrong with being a part-time driver, Jason. I have a couple of leagues that I myself rarely show up to because I'm usually too busy doing broadcasts, but I've had my fair share of being 100% invested in racing in different leagues here and there, and then decided to branch out and come out of my comfort zone and try to do this broadcasting stuff. And now we're here. So don't really race a whole lot, but I definitely do love the broadcasting side of things. So pretty fun to interact with everyone and call a race as it's taking place. Looks like we are going to have 12 drivers tonight unless someone squeezes in the next 2.5 minutes or so, 2 minutes, right here at the end of qualifying. So, you guys talking in chat, looking at we'll bring up the points here coming into tonight. Who's your picks for the Final Four next week at Martinsville? I would make a poll for it, but I don't think I have enough options to put on YouTube who people think the top 4 is going to be out of the 7 here. We got Peyton Keller, Jay Stinson, Patrick Hernandez, Chris Bingley, Kirby Wainscott, Sam Katz, and Kerry Klein, which all are in the race tonight. Unlike last week where we saw some people right there on the edge of getting that top 8 to squeeze into the playoffs, and there was quite a few people above that cut line that didn't show up last week. So kind of made it an interesting race. Definitely wish there was more drivers, but hey, it's still fun to call a race. Got 9 people, 10 people looks like. Welcome to the Vortex Racing Network. My name is Buddy Slee, and we are here at Charlotte for 200 laps tonight. Got about 40 seconds left in qualifying, and then we'll be kicking off the starting grid and then green flag racing. Hopefully it's as clean as it was last week at Talladega. It was kind of cool to see Talladega go caution free until at the very end. Oh yeah, Toby, it's a never ending. We always want more drivers everywhere, and unfortunately, a lot of the leagues I've ever seen, kind of, you get towards the end of the playoffs and wrapping up a championship and all that other stuff, and it seems like it doesn't matter what the racing league is, the numbers kind of fall off there about 3/4 of the way. So definitely understandable. There's some people that don't only want to race if they think they have a shot at something, but then once they're kind of mathematically out of it, it kind of runs that motivation a little bit for some guys. Qualifying is wrapped up. Everyone should be gridding up here. So we will switch over to the grid right fast. Starting on pole tonight for the last stand 400 at Charlotte Motor Speedway is the number 88 Peyton Keller for Pioneer Motorsports. To his outside, Kirby Wainscott in the number 10 out of Sparta, Kentucky. Starting on row 2, Jay Stinson in number 45, Toyota for Air Racing, starting in third. To his outside on fourth, Kerry Klein, number 97, Toyota. Row 3, Patrick Hernandez on the inside, starting fifth position. To his outside, Sean Harvey in the number 38. Sam Katz in the 48, and Kaiser Rydell in the number 21 will make up your row 4. Chris Bingley, and the number 84 will be your inside car on row 5 to his outside, and 10th will be Jason Anderson, number 26. Starting in row 6, Bradley King in the 11th position for air racing. To his outside, the 0 of Toby Tripp in the Ford. And that rounds out our starting field here. They should start making their way around the track here once the pace car starts moving. And we have 1 lap to go until the green flag drops. As I was saying before, there's quite a few options around this track as far as the line you want to run. Dirty air is a major thing, and wearing out that right front tire is also another major thing. The idea, or the way I see most people approach this track, is trying to stay down on that white line on the corners as long as possible without moving up the track to be able to have a little bit of speed at the end of a tire run. There is a lot of momentum and speed on the outside to start a tire run, but that drastically and quickly wears out that right front tire. So be interesting to see how these guys approach all of that and how they handle this track. Peyton Keller, Kirby Wainscott, your front 2. Green flag is going to be on the flagman. Every restart after that, the leader will have the control to start in the restart zone. Toby, let's go last place. Pace car is off. We are entering the restart zone here, and we are green flag from Charlotte in the last stand 400 with the Revenant Racing League. Peyton Keller off at 2, able to maintain that lead starting on pole. Wainscott ducks in behind Keller, looking to the outside, goes a little bit wide, should be able to let's get a different camera angle here so that I can pay attention to what the heck is going on. Kirby Wainscott looking to the inside of Peyton Keller, not close enough to really do anything with it. Jay Stinson lurking back there in 3rd. Patrick Hernandez, our onboard driver for tonight, sitting in 4th. Hernandez looking to the outside of Jay Stinson. Stinson able to defend on the bottom and carry the momentum. Hernandez in the 11 is our only car with an onboard camera right now, but I got some special little things up my sleeve as we see Kaiser Rydell looking to the inside of Chris Bingley to take over the 8th position. 7th position. Side-by-side fight here. The number 84 coming up a little bit, door banging. Everyone keeps it clean. The number 38 of Sean Harvey able to maintain that position. We have a battle here with Jay Stinson looking to the inside. No, I think Patrick Hernandez got to the outside. I think there's something wrong with my paints, but I can't say for sure. Maybe I have I'll have to fix that next time. I think I forgot to turn off hide car numbers or whatever that is. Peyton Keller has pulled out to about a half-second lead over 2nd place Kirby Wainscott. Patrick Hernandez up 2 positions, finally able to get around Jay Stinson. Hopefully everything sounds okay and nothing's too loud or too quiet. As I said before, I'm on a brand new computer and we just saw someone scrape the wall on exit. A little bit of racing back here with number 28, Bradley King and Sean Harvey side by side. Bradley King on the outside, Sean Harvey able to hold the inside. Oh, almost looking 3 wide, hitting the apron there's not good. It's going to push the number 84 wide a little bit. 38 has come off throttle, stay off of the door of that outside lane of Chris Bingley in the 84. Jason Anderson, Toby Tripp back here swapping positions back and forth. The 26 of Jason Anderson able to take over 11th place. Looking through the field here, it looks like we have a little bit of a battle for 11th place, or for 3rd place between the 11 of Patrick Hernandez and the 45 Jay Stinson. Likewise, back in 7th and 6th place, we have a little bit of a battle between Kaiser Rydell and Sam Katz. We are on lap 8 of 200, so it's definitely a long race. These guys don't want to burn up their stuff too early because you have to... It's a gauntlet here as we see Sam Katz falling back a little bit to the grips of Kaiser Rydell. Jay Stinson looking to the inside of Patrick Hernandez. Hernandez has the momentum on the outside, gets a little bit of a better run down the backstretch. Able to carry 3 and 4 a little bit better there on the top side. They're falling back in line. Peyton Keller still maintaining a little bit over a half-second lead over your second place car of Kirby Wainscott in the number 10. Think the battle between Jay Stinson, Patrick Hernandez, and maybe Kirby Wainscott might be this group of 3 cars right here might be our closest battle on track. Peyton Keller has to be liking everything. Super clean air out in front. Can kind of drive where he wants. He's maintaining that bottom line that I was talking about pre-race. That's going to pay dividends as these tires wear in. Some of these guys having to fight on the outside. It kind of, you can see Hernandez moving up a little bit. He's about a lane and a half up off the bottom, right on the tail end of, who is that? Kirby Wainscott. I'm hoping that my cat does not kill me. Not really a racing ordeal, but he is making me a little bit paranoid. All right. Patrick Hernandez looking to the outside of Kirby Wainscott. And still not really able to do anything with it. 13 laps in. Tires should... these guys are probably starting to feel the effects of the tires driving in a pack. We can see the 11 of Hernandez getting a run on the outside. Kirby Wainscott. Hernandez able to take over the second position, but Wainscott's going to have the shorter way around the track here in 1 and 2. Drifts up a little bit, has come off the throttle. Hernandez able to take advantage of that and power through on the outside, still side by side. Hernandez with the advantage going into 1. And we can see that momentum right there. He's just able to power through on the outside and take over second position. Current running order, Peyton Keller in the number 88, your pole sitter, and current leader, Patrick Hernandez, taking over the second position over Kirby Wainscott. Jay Stinson in 4th, Kerry Klein, currently your top 5 running order. Kerry Klein, one of those cars we talked about last week, having a really rough race for Talladega, so make up some points tonight. These guys only have 1 race to try to recover from a bad race instead of having those 2 or 3 races in a round that we're accustomed to. It makes it really rough as we see Jay Stinson looking to the inside of Kirby Wainscott door to door. Stinson gets the advantage on the inside, able to get in front of Wainscott. Wainscott moves back. Jay Stinson takes over the 3rd position. We have a fan for the number 48 in the chat. Sam Katz here. I would try to say your username, but I don't want to completely drop the ball on it. So I'm going to Ahoska? Ahaska? I apologize if I'm butchering that, but nice to see some people in chat calling out some drivers that they're rooting for during this race. We got Hernandez and Stenson right here, still kind of nose to tail. Kerry Klein looking to the inside of Wayne Scott. Has to come off of the throttle a little bit, it looked like, to not push up too high. Wayne Scott able to have the advantage down the back stretch. Able to maintain his position for fourth. Bradley King back here working on Kaiser Rydell. This is battle for seventh position. Kaiser drifts up a little bit. Oh, Bradley King comes off the throttle, not left hook him, left rear him or whatever on exit. The car can, where you're running that bottom line on the exit, it can be really, really tight. And whenever you have a car right up there where you're not really sure if you're exactly side by side or not, it's really easy to actually come together and cause some unintentional contact. Look around here for some other battles. It does look like Bradley King's able to get to the inside of Kaiser Rydell. Kaiser Rydell able to try to fight back on the outside. Lost a little bit of momentum. Bradley King able to take over the seventh position. Biggest movers of the race so far is Bradley King right here, up 4 spots from the start, and Patrick Hernandez, your current second place car, up 3 spots from the start. All right, sweet. Thank you. Thank you for the clarification, because I do not like mispronouncing names. Jay Stenson's still right on the back bumper of Patrick Hernandez in the 11. I think I'm going to have to fix this. The whole paint scheme ordeal going on. I know people have some pretty spiffy paint schemes, and I think I have dropped the ball on making sure that was set right with a new computer and everything, and kind of last minute getting all this stuff set up for tonight. Maybe during our ad, I'll go in there and try to fix it. Toby Tripp back here working to the inside of Sean Harvey. This is for 11th position. Toby Tripp able to drag race down the front stretch, able to get to the inside and drift up in front of the number 38 of Sean Harvey to take over the 11th position. Looks like everyone is kind of spread out a little bit. Our closest little battle that we have going on is a toss-up between Jay Stenson, Patrick Hernandez with about 0.2 of a second, and then Jason Anderson and Kaiser Rydell, that's also about 0.2 of a second. Lap 25 of 200, 176 laps to go, 175. I think now it's 175 because Peyton Keller should be pretty close down the middle of the back stretch into 3. Still maintaining the 0.6 of a second lead over second place Patrick Hernandez. Pop up his camera and let's see how calm he is. Just kind of running there. Pretty comfortable in second place. There's a big enough gap between him and Keller that it's kind of like having clean air a little bit with Jay Stenson there on the back bumper, but even with that, they're still separated by two tenths, 3/10 of a second. So, not a whole lot of pressure being put right now on the number 11 of Patrick Hernandez. Looks like Hernandez is able to pull out a little bit of a gap from Jay Stenson, but that might just be a testament to cleaner air than what Jay's dealing with. Behind them, we can see Kerry Klein, much better race so far tonight than he was having last week at Talladega. Kirby Wainscott, kind of, if I remember correctly, was kind of in that same position as Kerry Klein. Had some pretty good luck at the beginning of the race, but then towards the middle or the end just had some really bad luck. And that's just the way NASCAR goes sometimes. Sam Katz, Bradley King here, trying to make their race for position here. So this is what I'm going to do because it's driving me crazy on the paint scheme thing. We're going to do a quick ad. Everything's kind of, I don't know, Jason Anderson working on Kaiser Rydell a little bit. We'll watch this battle for a little bit, and then once everything kind of spreads out and separates again, we will do a quick ad. I'll try to fix the paint scheme ordeal going on and come back to live racing afterwards. You can see Jason Anderson right on the back bumper of Kaiser Rydell. This is a battle for 8th position. Jason is getting a little bit of a run here and just not really close enough to do anything with it. We can see he's a little bit faster down the backstretch, closes that gap up a little bit. Now he looks to the outside, maybe he's going to try to wrap the top here, get some momentum down the front stretch, cross over, and then have the inside in 1 and 2, but I don't think he's close enough to pull that off just yet. As you can see, the 21 goes a little bit high, gives Jason enough room to get a half car length below him in that line, get some clean air on the nose. That kind of lets those front tires stick as we see, the 21 up in the wall, really tight on exit. It's going to give Jason a little bit of an advantage here. He's able to get to the door on the inside on the exit. Kaiser fights back on the outside. Jason should be able to rip the bottom here and overtake that position with ease, as we just saw on the exit of 4. Toby Tripp, Chris Bingley side by side now. Another battle going on. Toby Tripp on the inside, I believe. Yeah, Toby Tripp on the inside, and the black car able to take over the 10th position. Chris Bingley looking back to the inside to fight back. I think Tripp's going to have enough momentum to, he gets the wall a little bit. I don't think it was hard enough to do any damage to it. We do see a little bit of scuffs on that right front. Looks like everything is, let's see. Oh, man, what a great camera angle from iRacing. Thank you. Does look like Jay Stenson here. A little bit of a gap back to Kerry Klein in 4th. Has fallen back quite a bit from Patrick Hernandez. Peyton Keller got a battle for a lead spicing up here. Peyton Keller about a 10th ahead of Patrick Hernandez. Hernandez right to the back bumper. See, this is what happens whenever I get sidetracked and distracted. Hernandez looking to the inside of Peyton Keller. Peyton Keller able to use the outside. We should see him pull ahead here. Has a little bit of a momentum boost. Hernandez still fighting on the inside, trying to send it in there and going to slide up a little bit. Keller should have the option to cross over here as long as Hernandez does not block it. Looks like Keller's just going to tuck in line. Hernandez rips the wall. Patrick Hernandez, our new race leader. On lap 37 of 200 tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. All right, we're going to go to a quick ad. I'm going to try to fix my jumbled up paints here, and we will return right after.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
All right, we are back, and unfortunately, I could not remember for the life of me where that setting was, but I am pretty sure it show car numbers or high car numbers that I do not have turned on. I'll have to fix that after this race. Got a three-way battle here while we were going through all that shenanigans between Peyton Keller, Jay Stinson, Kerry Klein. Kerry Klein looking to the inside of Jay Stinson, able to take over the third position. Jay Stinson fighting back on the outside. Klein gives him the lane up there. Able to fully make the pass coming into turn 3. Got a car coming down pit road. Jason Anderson, lap 43 of 200. More than likely the start of green flag stops here is what I can assume. 43 laps on a tank sounds pretty familiar from the leagues that I run in. Had to see how many takers that brings down pit road, because you can make up a lot of time. These guys, let's see if there's the last time here that we can look at. Hernandez, his last time's 30.62. We can see their best time, 29.4. So a little over a second fall off. Coming into these green flag pit cycles, there's the disadvantage of going one lap down here and hoping for no caution to let everything cycle. But the longer these leaders stay out, that's a secondary lap that Jason Anderson can be making up on those leaders. Oh, the 84 really slow. Patrick Hernandez able to get around Chris Bingley. 84 off pace a little bit. 97 looks to his outside. Trying to look and see here of when. Does not look like there's any more takers down pit road so far. So as long as this cycles through green flag, we'll have to see what type of advantage that gave Jason Anderson coming down a little bit earlier than these leaders decided to. They can push it. I'm not sure what the fuel mileage looks like for tonight's race. We can see Kerry Klein right on the back bumper of Patrick Hernandez. Kerry Klein looks to the inside of Hernandez, going to try to power along the outside. Klein has a decent exit off of turn 2 on the bottom. Oh, Klein's drifting up. They're door to door. Drag race to the start finish line. Patrick Hernandez able to defend that position. I think it's only a matter of time before Klein gets the advantage, though. There's only so long you can hold out running that top on worn tires before you get tight and have to come off of the throttle on exit or pancake the wall, which is also never fun. Harry Klein's still fighting along the bottom there, side by side for the last lap and a half. I do believe Kerry Klein is going to lead that lap. Klein should have a little bit of an advantage here in 1 and 2, able to drift up in front of Patrick Hernandez and take over the lead on lap 49 of 200. Have a battle back here for 8th position between Toby Tripp and Kaiser Rydell. Rydell pulling a little bit of a gap on the entry, but you could see him have to slow way down to not get super tight. That's going to give Toby Tripp the advantage on the inside here. Kaiser sends it on the entry of 3, can't really do anything with it. Toby Tripp able going to take over the 8th position off of 4 on lap 50 of 200. And here we go. Patrick Hernandez in pit road for his green flag cycle. Kerry Klein, Peyton Keller, those guys all opting to stay out. So I think some of these leaders, they're just trying to make it simple. We got 200 laps. Sam Katz also down pit road. Nice clean entry. Don't see any black flags, penalties, or anything like that. Peyton Keller down pit road. A different camera here. Pretty crappy camera, if I say so myself here. Kerry Klein still out on track down the back stretch, lap 52 of 200. What I was saying earlier, these guys wanted to make the race simple. Got 200 laps, can go at least 50 laps, so you just 2 more pit stops and done dealio. As we see Kerry Klein coming down pit road. Jay Stinson going to take over the lead, still yet to pit, but he's going to get a bonus point for a lap led, I believe. I do think that they do the bonus points for laps led. Kirby Wainscott right on the tail end of Jay Stinson. Kirby Wainscott looking to the inside. Got a car coming out of pits right there. Kirby Wainscott able to get around Jay Stinson, take over the lead. Looks like Jay Stinson may be coming down pit road here. Do his green flag pit stop. Kirby Wainscott takes over the lead, gets his lap led. 3 cars left to pit is going to be Kirby Wainscott, current leader, Kaiser Rydell, and everyone else is either in pits or has pit, except for Sean Harvey. I think Sean Harvey is being shown out. Oh, the camera. Oh no, what happened to Toby? I think Toby Tripp might have had some, maybe that bump on the exit of pit road It can be atrocious there on that bump where you go bouncing all around and getting loose, go off track. Maybe that's what happened to him, as we see Kirby Wainscott making his scheduled pit stop. Kaiser Rydell also making his scheduled pit stop. This is going to cycle the lead back out to Patrick Hernandez in the number 11 with Peyton Keller in second, Kerry Klein in third. We see those guys going around Kirby Wainscott right here. And Jason Anderson making his way around turn 3 down the back stretch. See him able to get around Kaiser Rydell for the 9th position. Jay Stinson able to get around Kirby Wainscott for the 4th position. The one thing that is going to be a benefit here for Kirby Wainscott is kind of the benefit that I thought Jason Anderson would have, and that was how early he pit. Having a little bit of extra laps out there before the leaders decided to pit. We can see Chris Bingley pit on lap 45, Sam Katz pit on 50, Kirby Wainscott pit about 4 or 5 laps after Patrick Hernandez. So while Kirby Wainscott lost some track time delaying his pit stop, it might benefit him on the long run having a little bit fresher tires as all the tires come into balancing themselves out and all that crud. Looks like everything is pretty calm and collected. That pit cycle really spread some people out. We do have Kaiser Rydell battling with Chris Bingley. This is going to be our closest battle on track other than... Oh no, something happened to Patrick Hernandez. He is dropping like a rock, and I don't know if he got loose or what happened, but we'll have to see if we can go back and... I don't even... Maybe this will take us back far enough. We'll have to see here. Oh, it looks like he just got loose. Patrick Hernandez running the bottom there and just comes around on him. Gets really loose, locks up the tires. Oh, gets the front end a little bit. That's unfortunate for Hernandez. Super strong race. Good pit strategy. He's only fallen back to 5th, though. So, he should be able to recover from that. Peyton Keller going to take over the lead after that. Kerry Klein running in 2nd. Jay Stinson 3rd. Kirby Wainscott in 4th. And Patrick Hernandez rounding out your top 5. Jay Stinson and Kerry Klein, a little bit of a battle. I think this is the closest battle on track 4 position between 3 cars here. Klein, Stinson, Wainscott, all kind of nose to tail. Oh, the number 84 right there of Chris Bingley. Everyone able to make their way around that car. So our closest battle right now is this 3-car group for, we'll call it a battle for 2nd, because, well, they're all kind of right here trying to battle for 2nd. Peyton Keller has about a little over a 2-second lead on Kerry Klein, our 2nd place car. Jay Stinson pulling a little bit closer up to the tail end of Kerry Klein here. Klein runs a little wide. Looked like it got a little bit tight. It draws Stinson in a little bit closer. We'll do this guy that I made right on board with Jay Stinson here. See what he's seeing on track. Go back to Kirby Wainscott. Really calm on the throttle. Just a nice steady race. You can see Kerry Klein running a little bit higher line than what Jay is running here. Right there, Klein goes up a little bit. Jay's trying to stick down to that white line. See what Kirby's doing different. You can see they're about almost 2.5 second gap to the lead. Currently running in 4th position. Looks like Jay Stinson is going to get the run to the inside of Kerry Klein here. Not able to do anything with it. Klein's able to carry the momentum down the front stretch. Klein moved down the track a little, blocking Jay's line that he was running. Nothing wrong with that. Just a little bit of a defensive move there. Feed the car behind you some dirty air. As you can see, Stinson able to get about a half car below Klein in 3 and 4. I think Chris Bingley was blinking in and out a little bit. He was flashing on my timing. Do got 10 viewers. If you're enjoying what you're watching, be sure to give us a like and subscribe right here on the Vortex Racing Network. We cover races all throughout the week. Jay Stinson able to get to the inside of Kerry Klein. Finally, door-to-door drag race down the backstretch, entry into 3. Stinson should be able to have the advantage with the shorter way around the track. It's going to bring Kirby Wainscott right up to the tail end of Kerry Klein. Jay Stinson takes over 2nd position on lap 69 of 200. I am glad that I missed lap 67 because my kids are right in the background. And I don't even know if that's a thing anymore or not, but that was definitely all school year last year. The whole 6-7 thing. Wainscott closing up on Kerry Klein here a little bit. Klein able to maintain the gap. About almost 0.3 of a second ahead of Wainscott. This is a battle for 3rd position, and it is our closest battle on track. Everyone else is kind of they're pretty spread out. Our next closest battle is between Jason Anderson and Chris Bingley. I believe they are about 0.7 of a second spread out. You can see Chris Bingley up there right ahead of the number 26 of Jason Anderson. Definitely quite a bit of a gap. So yeah, I do believe this battle between Wainscott and Klein for 3rd position is the closest battle on track. Kerry Klein able to carry the momentum on the outside a little bit. A little bit better pull away on the front stretch. Chris Bingley coming down for a pit stop on lap 72. I don't remember when he last pit, but this might be a unscheduled stop considering everyone was pitting around 40 something. It does look like it's scheduled. See right side's going on. See if the left side. Oh, I don't know if he's blinking or if he's out. Oh, shoot. Kirby Wainscott able to catch back up to Kerry Klein here for the battle of 3rd place. Find a different camera because that one is atrocious, and there we go. Everything's still single filed out. He's catching and losing and catching and losing. Chris Bingley. Yeah, Chris Bingley's still shown as out on my end, so it's unfortunate for the number 84 to call it an early night. Definitely a not the way you want one of these super long races to go, to be on the end of the or the wrong end of the stick and then have to call it an early night. Lap 75 at 200. This is the Vortex Racing Network. My name is Buddy Salee, and like I was saying earlier, if you enjoy what you're watching, give us a like. We cover a whole lot of different things. While everything's kind of settled down here, I'm going to go over our schedule right fast. Starting tomorrow night, the SWC ARCA Series, first thing Monday evening with Alex Hillman, followed directly on the tail end of that with the Monday Mayhem Series with Mean Gene Money and Zach Panzarella. Tuesday's rebroadcast for the Bonfire Racing League Big Trucking Tuesday. Wednesday, myself and Smokin' Joe cover the SWC Moonlight Gen 6 series. Thursday, Kevin Kyle, KK in the booth, covers the Quantum Contender series. And then Sunday mornings, we have the Bonfire Premier Cup series with Mean Gene Money and Smokin' Joe. And then we have the Revenant Racing League right here on Sunday evenings. So definitely a lot of stuff that takes place with the Vortex Racing Network. We also have track guides provided by Fish Speed Brakes, a partnership thing that is done with Zach Panzarella and Jordan Fisher. All those tutorials and stuff for the AFIC series on the official iRacing stuff is available on our channel to go back and see how Jordan Fisher approaches that stuff and maybe get some tips and tricks on some of these tracks that are a little bit difficult to work your way around, especially if you're newer. We are on lap 78 of 200. Peyton Keller is your leader. Jay Stenson second, Kerry Klein third. We can see Kerry Klein able to still kind of in the middle of the island here, just behind Jay Stenson and Kirby Wainscott and fourth. Bradley King rounding out our top five. Stenson, Klein, Wainscott, they're kind of separated by equal distance here. Almost like in the trucks where you get the imaginary bubble and you can't really overcome it, or not really overcome it, but you get stuck in where it seems like you can't gain any momentum or any drive, and you super difficult to overcome that imaginary bumper. We do see Kerry Klein closing up on Jay Stenson, though. Closed it up to just over a tenth of a second. Jay Stenson running that line. You could see the dirty air get on the nose of Kerry Klein, pushes him a little bit wide, taps the wall on exit. Kirby Wainscott brings him right up. He's running a different line than both of them down on the bottom with all the clean air to his liking. See if he runs it here again. We'll see. Kerry Klein looking to the inside of Jay Stenson. Stenson's going to be able to carry the momentum on the outside, I think. Klein still... Nope. Klein has the advantage down this front stretch. They come together. Stenson still ripping the outside. Kerry Klein loses some of the momentum on exit there. You can see him falling backwards. Kirby Wainscott right on his back bumper. Wainscott getting just under Kerry Klein there. Find a different... Where's my button at? There we go. Watch this battle between Jay Stenson and Kerry Klein. Kerry Klein again working to the inside of Jay Stenson. Find a better camera angle here. Klein sends it on the inside. Wayne Scott is going to try to follow him through, not able to do it. Kerry Klein takes over second place on Jay Stinson. Now Wayne Scott right on their heels here. Stinson's still opting for that outside line. Wayne Scott trying to run the bottom, carry as much momentum as he can. Stinson comes down, puts all kinds of dirty air on the nose of Wayne Scott. Could see Wayne Scott having to back up a little bit to not push super wide. One of the things that happens in iRacing is how dirty air affects the way some of these cars drive. Clean air to the nose of Wayne Scott as he looks to the inside off of 2 to Jay Stinson. Should have the advantage here on entry. Stinson's going to fight back on the outside. Door to door across the line on lap 86 of 200 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the last stand 400. Wayne Scott able to take over the position in 1 and 2 on Jay Stinson, take over the third spot. Peyton Keller making his way around laps traffic, still our current race leader. And if we pull up our laps led, let's see how many 64 laps led for Peyton Keller in the number 88. Patrick Hernandez still holding on to 6th position. He had 15 laps led. We saw him right before the pit cycle or whatever. I think Hernandez might be fighting some damage on the car. Definitely not any fun when these cars get damaged, because then they don't want to turn. They don't really want to do anything. Definite unfortunate incident for Patrick Hernandez. Kaiser Rydell currently running in 8th position, just ahead of Jason Anderson. Well, I say just ahead, but there's about 11-second gap between them. We only got 5 cars on the lead lap here. Not halfway through the race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway just yet. Inching up on that halfway point, though. I'd expect here in about 12 to 15 laps, we'll see another round of green flag pit stops. Kerry Klein able to pull out a pretty decent gap over Kirby Wayne Scott in the 3rd position as these guys are making their way around the lap traffic. Jay Stinson just on the tail end of this, getting around Patrick Hernandez. But you can see these guys right here all in a pack trying to work their way around each other. Kaiser Rydell on the outside of Kerry Klein trying to not fall as far back as, like, you kind of want to stay on the as close to the lead lap as you can, but as we saw there, Rydell got really tight, had to come off the throttle. The number 97 of Kerry Klein able to finally get through those cars. Now Wayne Scott has to try to get through them as well. With Kerry Klein having a clean track ahead of him, this is going to grow that gap between Klein and Wayne Scott for 2nd position. Oh man, almost ran out of room there on the outside. Patrick Hernandez coming down pit road. Probably a scheduled stop here, or to check damage or something like that. His incident was right after that green flag stop, so kind of gotta hope for a caution, check your damage. Does look like he's taking tires. See if he sits in here to get any damage fixed. I don't know if he's going to. Nope, just 4-tire stop and go. Patrick Hernandez back out on track. I think Patrick really needs a caution to try to check some of that damage. Lap 93 at 200, getting really, really close here to the halfway point of this race. This is the last race before we set our championship 4 to go to Martinsville next week. That should be an exciting one. Not ever seen a season championship ran at Martinsville, so I'm a little bit scared because I know how Martinsville races, but I'm also intrigued because it it should be an exciting show. Go to the old paperclip. Currently, our top 5 running order: Peyton Kelly, Kerry Klein, Kirby Wayne Scott, Jay Stinson, Bradley King, Sam Katz, first car lap down. Kaiser Rydell sitting in 7th. Jason Anderson 8th. Toby Tripp 9th. And Patrick Hernandez rounding out our top 10 with 2 drivers out currently of Chris Bingley and Sean Harvey. Everyone's a little bit spread out here, I think. And we are going to try to figure out what actually Jason Anderson down to for his scheduled stop. We have a little bit of a battle here for 6th position between Sam Katz and Kaiser Rydell. Just ahead of Jay Stinson and Bradley King. See Jay Stinson right there in number 45, and right behind him. Oh, no, that was a lapped car. I think this behind Jay Stinson. Bradley King's about 9 seconds back. Trying to find the closest battle on track here, and I think it's Sam Katz and Kaiser Rydell. Oh, Stinson gets to the inside of Rydell. That was a little bit close there on the quad oval. Kaiser Rydell going to fight back on the outside as we see Toby Tripp running right behind this group. We see the 26 of Jason Anderson making his way back out on track after his pit stop. Jay Stinson is trying to get these guys to figure it out. Somewhere to go. Able to. The benefit Stinson has here is there's a little bit of a gap back to Bradley King. King about 7.5 seconds back, but King is definitely making up time on Stinson, with Stinson being trapped behind these two. Peyton Keller, super quiet race so far, led a majority of the laps tonight, maintaining about a little over a second lead of our second place driver in the number 97 of Kerry Klein. And as Peyton Keller comes around turn 4 here, he is going to cross the start finish line, and this is going to be our halfway point of the night. Kerry Klein going to be 2nd, Kirby Wayne Scott 3rd, Jay Stinson 4th, Bradley King 5th to round out our top 5 at the halfway point. No stages or anything in this race. It's just a green flag drops and we go until the race ends, or if there's a wreck or incident or cautions or anything. Speaking of cautions, I got to ask the question because I always ask the question every single time. And if you watched the broadcast last week, you're going to know what that question is going to be, or some form of that question. Are we going to finish under green? Are we going to have a caution tonight? Yes and no. And there we go. I started a poll for the audience there to kind of vote however they want to. Something about Cass. Let's go 26. Nice to see a another fan rooting for a driver here in the field. Jason Anderson, number 26 here, currently running in 10th place. Couple laps down. Oh, Peyton Keller, our race leader, in and out of pit road while I was doing that pull for everyone. Oh no, Keller gets loose on the exit. Does a 360 and bounces the nose off the wall. Holy moly. That's an unfortunate ordeal right there. Let's see if we can see the front of his car. Find a decent camera angle. Oh yeah, it's crunched up there a little bit. That's going to definitely affect his handling a little bit. Kind of mushed in the center. You can see the splitter pushed up a little bit. That car is going to be driving really tight here, burning off the tires. Hard to make the corners and stuff with that much damage. Definitely unfortunate to see with Peyton Keller's strongest car of the night so far. Maybe a money shift, bounced the car a little bit, spun it around, scraped the nose off the front. Kirby Wainscott goes around. Kerry Klein making his way down pit road for his pit stop. Wainscott going to take over the lead here on lap 106 of 200. I'd expect Wainscott to kind of come down pit road here within this lap or the next lap or so. I think it was one of the cars that stayed out a little bit longer the last run. And it looks like it's going to be much of the same here. I'm just going to run that tank out and hope for a little bit of a shorter pit stop if we don't get that caution on that last stop that they'll have to do to get to the end. Looks like every car is pitted so far except for Kirby Wainscott. See if he brings it down this time. Does not look like it. He's going to be going a lot slower than that if he's going to pit. Opts to stay out one more time. At least one more time. We have Kaiser Rydell still out on track. Has also not done his pit stop run in second. Looking at our results from our poll here, it looks like everyone has agreed that we are going to finish under green. And you know, Charlotte's one of those tracks. Everyone gets spread out a lot. I think it's going to, if we end up with a caution, as we see Kaiser Rydell coming down pit road, if we end up with a caution, I think it's going to have to come from one of these green flag pit stops. Either on entry or on after the green flag pit stop, where we get that crazy cycle where you have a lot of guys on different tire strategies. I thought Wainscott was going to put the nose right into the barrels. Oh my goodness. So I think it's very conditional, extremely conditional if we're going to see a caution tonight for anything. Oh, absolutely. That bump on pit exit, it can be so bad whenever you hit it wrong, and then you're trying to modulate the throttle on pit exit to kind of get yourself ready to wrap the apron to get back out on the track. And it just, especially in the next gens, the suspension is super tight, so the car likes to bounce a whole lot, and it'll send you around before you can react to it. Gary Klein has taken over the lead here. Peyton Keller getting challenged by Jay Stinson. Jay Stinson able to take over second place, and I think this is what we can attribute to the damage on Peyton Keller's car. Like, it is not 100%. He definitely needs a caution to be able to sit in the pits and get some of that damage repaired. It's almost like driving a parachute right here with the damage that he has on the front end. Kerry Klein able to take over the lead here on lap I think he took over the lead quite a while back, but we'll just call it on lap. He's coming to lap 112 of 200. And we look at some of these guys on this timing tower here, and we look at the points of whenever they came in. Hayden Keller was our points leader, and we saw him have that little mishap on pit exit. Jay Stinson came in second. Patrick Hernandez, excuse me, we saw him have a little bit of issues earlier in the race. Got loose on exit of 2 and kind of slid and bounced his nose off the wall. Chris Bingley was your fourth car, or your fourth place position coming into tonight in the round of 8, round of 7, whichever way you want to call it. We can see Bingley is out, so that is unfortunate for him. We can see Sam Katz still running around, currently in 6th. First car 1 lap down. And Kerry Klein, our current race leader. So there is some potential here. Like you can see these points that they were split by, that we can see these top 4 positions get shooken up a little bit. I think Keller's pretty safe, but these other positions here, I don't know how many points they can gain or lose in one race because I haven't covered this series enough to be too familiar with that, but it'll be interesting to see who makes it into the oh no, it looks like Toby Tripp crashed, has a meatball on his car. And all that happened while I was covering the points stuff. Still no caution though. Tripp looks like he's been in the pits for about a minute. See if we can go back and see what happened to him. Doesn't look like anyone else was involved. Everything kind of, oh no. Oh, it's the same thing that happened to Hernandez. Just really loose right there off of 2. Oh, nose first into the wall. Think he's going to tow it right there. Surprised that wasn't a caution. Kind of sitting there on the track, not moving. Well, we almost had a caution that we thought we wasn't going to get. Yeah, Toby, I have no idea how that didn't cause a caution. You were sitting with that front tire there on the racing surface and stopped the car, and usually that'll trigger an iRacing caution or whatever. Toby, these cars are a handful whenever they get a little bit of damage, especially if you get a whole lot of damage on the rear axle and the rear tires. It can be like driving on ice almost. Even with brand new tires, these cars just do not like damage very well. And we saw kind of like your wreck. Patrick Hernandez also got loose on one of the corners of the exit, and then we saw Peyton Keller. I think he hit that bump on pit exit and kind of did a whoop-de-doo and put the nose in the wall a little bit. A current running position on coming to lap 120 of 200. Kerry Klein, our current race leader. Jay Stinson is second. Peyton Keller still running in third, maintaining a little bit over a 4-second lead on Bradley King. Patrick Hernandez rounding out our top 5. Kirby Wayne Scott 6th, Sam Katz 7th, Kaiser Rydell 8th, Jason Anderson 9th, and Toby Tripp sitting in the pits looking like I don't know if he's out. I thought I heard the engine blow up, but not 100% sure. Sometimes whenever you get that enough damage on these cars, they like to say you're done and it's too much damage to be fixed. So I don't know. I don't know if Toby's out or, oh, that's unfortunate. So it does look like the number 00 or the double of Toby Tripp is out of the race with a completely destroyed, unfixable car. We still have 5 drivers on the lead lap. Wayne Scott has moved to the first lap or first car 1 lap down, so he is in that lucky dog position if we were to get a caution. The longer this race goes, only having 9 guys in the race currently, I do think the poll and the audience is correct in saying I think we're going to go all the way green in this race. Unless something crazy happens around 150, 155, something like that, where a caution happens during crashes, or yeah, a caution happens during pit stops or whatever. Try to figure out what I'm trying to say here in a minute. Do have about 77 laps, 76 laps, something like that left tonight. I think we are going to do a quick ad break so that I can use the restroom right fast, and then I will be right back after that, and we'll pick it back up live.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
All right, we are back at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We are on lap 127 of 200 in the last stand 400 with the Revenant Racing League here on the Vortex Racing Network. My name is Buddy Salee, commentator, producer tonight. We've had definitely some things happen. Earlier in the race, we saw some pretty strong cars get knocked out. A little bit of damage. Peyton Keller has the most laps led currently. Kind of lost a little bit on pit exit. Scraped up the nose a little bit. Patrick Hernandez, another strong car that started up front. Got loose, scraped the nose up a little bit. Kerry Klein is our current race leader. Jay Stinson in second. Bradley King in third. Peyton Keller fourth. Patrick Hernandez rounding out the top 5. This is a cutoff race for the championship next week at Martinsville, where the top 4 from tonight's going to move on to next week to battle it out here on season 1 of the Revenant Racing League Cup Series. Be interesting to see how that race goes at Martinsville and all that fun stuff. We have about 70 laps, 71. I think we're getting ready to come to 70 laps to go tonight from Charlotte. No cautions. We can check our race recap here. On lap 130 of 200, current leader is Kerry Klein, and we've had 9 lead changes, 0 cautions. Yeah, definitely been a pretty quiet night. clean and green. All these top five guys are pretty spread out. Kerry Klein with a Jay Stenson's about 1 second back from Kerry Klein. Kind of making up some ground. There is a lap car in between the two. Outside of that, though, a lot of these guys, they are Bradley King, our third place car. He's about 10 seconds back. 10 seconds back to Jay Stenson in second. Peyton Keller about 12 or 13 seconds back. Patrick Hernandez about 28 seconds back. So a lot of these guys are really, really spread out on the track right now. I wish I had more to talk about. Hopefully you guys can get together. We really need a caution. We need a caution to bring everyone back together, let some guys get some damage fixed, and see how they round this out. But I really do not think we're going to have it. Or I also, not that I don't think we're going to get it. I don't think we're going to get that caution. Still a lot of racing left. Last week when we were doing the interviews, we were talking about asking the Podium 3 how they were kind of going to approach tonight being a much longer race than what we're kind of used to. And everyone said they're just going to kind of show up and race and treat it how they normally would. Have had a couple of incidents where it was pretty close to bringing out a caution. Toby Tripp with his incident, he was right there on the line of the racing surface, and just not iRacing didn't agree with having a caution, I guess, which is not uncommon because there's a lot of other tracks that we go to and we broadcast and race at that the whole track can be blocked in a caution. iRacing still will not throw a caution, so definitely not something that is unheard of. As we can see, Kerry Klein here, current race leader, split up with a lap car from Jay Stenson. Jay's been able to close that gap a little bit, even with that lap car there between them. They're under a second separated currently. As we're sitting here wrapping up this season, this first season here, what's some of the stuff you guys are looking forward to next season? Kind of looked at the Discord, saw some things being talked about and being posted, and quite a bit of polls floating around. I think they're trying to do some different stuff, but I don't know because I am not on the inside of that. All I do is broadcast, so the definitely cool to see leagues growing and different leagues. I'm definitely involved in quite a few different leagues throughout the week, so kind of cool to see leagues come and grow and all that stuff. Might have a battle for the lead here. Kerry Klein able to pull out. They're still kind of Jay Stenson, Kerry Klein. They're hovering right around that second and a 10th range between one another. Do have the locked car in between them still. Stenson doing a late apex, running a little bit higher on entry. Kerry Klein. Boy, I wish the paints were fixed. He's kind of running that same line in 3 and 4, staying a little bit higher than Stenson did in 1 and 2. Trying to find someone that's close here, and I don't think there's everyone. The next closest one is probably between Wayne Scott and Hernandez for 5th place, but they're separated by a second and a half or so, just about. Kind of close to the situation of the first and second position of Kerry Klein, Jay Stinson. Klein's able to pull out a much bigger gap. Not sure what happened to Stinson. Klein's almost up to a 2-second gap in that little bit of exchanges. We see Kerry Klein right on the back bumper. Patrick Hernandez getting ready to go down a lap. Almost 3/4 of the way through the race tonight. Do have 9 current viewers, so welcome and thank you for hanging out with me. First part of the race, kind of exciting, had a lot to talk about. Now everything's kind of spread out, and we've had some attrition happen where some cars are out, unfortunately. Should have one more round of green flag pit stops, and then they should be able to make it to the end after that. As we see Patrick Hernandez coming down for his scheduled pit stop. Does look like he's still running his driver cam. I don't know. Let's see. 4 tires, right side's up, left side's up, 4 tires and fuel. And he's gone. So still not able to get any of that damage fixed. You really don't want to spend a whole lot of time on pit road under green flag conditions, because then you just lose more time on track. You really need a caution to be able to get that damage fixed. With Hernandez coming down pit road, that leaves 4 cars on the lead lap. Our current leader, Kerry Klein, Jay Stinson in 2nd, Bradley King in 3rd, Peyton Keller in 4th. Peyton Keller's hovering right around almost 25 seconds behind Kerry Klein, so he is going to be, Peyton's going to be the next person on the chopping block here, and I would expect that to happen definitely this race, especially without a caution. Figure out where we're at here. Wayne Scott running in 5th. First car a lap down. Be able to get back on that lead lap with a caution, getting the lucky dog or the wave around or whatever you want to call it. Jay Stinson's falling a little bit further back off of Kerry Klein, now almost 3 seconds. Kaiser Rydell coming down making his pit stop. I think some of these guys are planning to go to the end from here. After we saw this stuff happen to Peyton Keller, Kerry Klein has kind of taken over that lead and ran away with it. Not really pulling away super strong on Jay Stinson. There is that 2 3/4 of a second gap between the two, but it's not fluctuating super aggressively or anything. So they're kind of maintaining the same pace. If we look at Jay Stinson here and we do last lap, leader to lap, and show this, yeah, they're only 100th off of each other. See what this next lap is. Kerry Klein just ran 30.692. See what Stinson's lap is once he gets through the back stretch here. Actually, I think he'll update this time. So we'll see Klein's lap time. Actually, maybe this don't update by itself. Oh, there we go. Oh, that last lap, Stinson fell off about 4 or 5 tenths. 5 tenths of a second or so, half a second lap time difference. So I think Kerry Klein is definitely having the advantage right now, being in front, pulled out to over 3.5 second lead now over second place Jay Stinson. Bradley King in your third position, about 12 seconds, 12.5 seconds back from Jay Stinson, with Kirby Wainscott about 17 seconds behind Bradley King. These are the only 4 cars on the lead lap right now. Patrick Hernandez is our first car 1 lap down. No, Wayne Scott is our first car 1 lap down. And then Patrick Hernandez currently scored as 2 laps down, as Peyton Keller also scored 2 laps down. Hernandez and Keller here, a race for 5th position for that top 5. It looks like Peyton Keller able to get around Hernandez without any issues. Keller pit about seven laps before Hernandez did, so that's quite a bit of fresher tires with a 7-8 lap tire difference there. Just like Kerry Klein coming down pit road. Jay Stinson stays out, and Bradley King is still making his way around the track. Kerry Klein, nice clean entry. No penalties, no black flags or anything like that I can see. Lap 155 of 200 here at Charlotte should be Klein's last pit stop. All these guys' last pit stop to get to the end. Got about 45 laps left. As we see Jay Stinson slowing down, coming down pit road. No lockups, no issues. Don't see any penalties or black flags for Jay. Had to see if Bradley King himself. Ooh. No penalties, no black flags for Bradley. Kirby Wainscott. Think he might stay out here. And I think the reason why Wainscott would possibly want to stay out here, we can see Kirby Wainscott takes over the lead after that. And now you kind of got to hope for a caution. Kerry Klein able to get out ahead of Jay Stinson. Jay Stinson currently in 3rd place. Kirby Wainscott has not pit yet, and he's a car that we've seen stay out quite a few laps longer than a lot of these. Oh no, what happened to Jay Stinson? Go back and look at that. I think it might be the bump on pit exit, maybe, or... Oh, yep, the bump claims another. Jay didn't hit anything, though, no damage, just lost a lot of time on pit exit there with getting sideways and having to lock it down. So that's a handful of guys that we've seen kind of run into the pit exit, causing some problems. Peyton Keller working to the inside of Kirby Wainscott to get his lap back the hard way. So now what Keller really needs, being that first car on, or the last car on the lead lap, really needs a caution here. Don't gotta worry about the lucky dog. Don't gotta worry about any of that. Go dip down into the pits and get your damage fixed. Well, we're coming up on 41 laps left tonight from Charlotte. Just we were talking earlier, and I just do not think that's going to happen. I don't think these guys are going to get a caution, especially now that I do believe everyone has made their... No, Kirby Wainscott has still yet to... He's the only car that hasn't made his pit stop here. So as long as Kirby doesn't do anything crazy, I think Kerry Klein's going to retain the lead. Jay Stinson, even with his little hiccup on pit exit, here comes Kirby Wainscott down for his pit stops. So Kerry Klein right there take over the lead. Jay Stinson following pretty close here, coming down off of 4. Should be able to... These guys are spending about almost 39 seconds on pit lane. Bradley King gets around Kirby Wainscott. Peyton Keller is also going to get around Kirby Wainscott to take over 4th place. Kirby Wainscott makes it off of pit exit. Fine around the apron. Looks like everything's all fine and dandy here for Kirby. And now our green flag cycles have concluded. So we didn't have a caution under the green flag stop. The last green flag stop. All these guys should be able to make it the rest of the way. I wish everyone wasn't so spread out, because I have a pretty cool little crank it up session we can do, so I'm not just playing the same ads over and over. Looking for a battle here. My timing didn't update for Chris Bingley being out, so every time I look at it, I'm thinking that there's a 0.2 of a second battle going on that is definitely not going on. Only 4 cars on the lead lap. Kerry Klein, Jay Stinson, Bradley King, Peyton Keller. Coming to 35 laps to go tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway in the last stand 400 with the Revenant Racing League. My keyboard, again, is not wanting to stay connected. I don't remember if it was last Sunday that I had the same problem, or if it was the Wednesday night series that me and Smokin' Joe covered that I had the same problem. Or maybe it was the Thursday series that I cover. I don't know, I had a problem where the keyboard kept disconnecting all the time, and it was just blaring in my ear, beeping at me, even though I can see it disconnecting. Yeah, I'm currently trying to fight that in my lap. So even though it's a new system, new setup, new all that, maybe I should have thought about replacing my keyboard as well. I think I got it rigged here to where it should stay connected now. 167 laps. Earlier I was talking about being paranoid that my cat was going to cause a problem, and that has not happened. Got 5 viewers. Everyone's trying to hang on. I'm sure these guys sitting in the cars is ready for this race to be over. Coming up on 168 of 200. We're getting there. Going to be 30 something laps left here, 32, 33 laps left to go here in the last stand. 400 with the Revenant Racing League here on the Vortex Racing Network. I think we're going to do a quick ad because my crank it up don't make sense with everyone spread out, and then I'm going to refresh my beverage and I'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
All right, we are back live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. My name is Buddy Slee, commentator, producer tonight for the Revenant Racing League here on the Vortex Racing Network. We made it inside of 30 to go. If you're still hanging out with me, thank you. Definitely been fun. Saw quite a bit of attrition during this race for a couple of these guys. Kerry Klein, current race leader, has definitely been the biggest winner in all this so far. Bradley King is our biggest mover, however, currently sitting in the third position, round out our podium, up 8 positions. Kerry Klein up 3, Jay Stinson up 1. We can see Wayne Scott there in the number 10 trying to get his lap back, get back on the lead lap the hard way, trying to work his way around Kerry Klein. Not really a close battle on track right now except for this, with Wayne Scott trying to get his lap back. So we'll go ahead and watch this for right now. And Wayne Scott does have a little bit fresher tires than Kerry does. Wayne Scott looking to the inside. Like I was saying earlier, not really a race for a position, but it is a race for Wayne Scott to get back on the lead lap. Does look like Wayne Scott's able to do that. Now he just needs to maintain that. Should be able to. He pit a little bit about 6 laps after Kerry Klein did. So he has 6 lap fresher tires. Should be able to maintain this, pick up a top 5 tonight. And speaking of tonight, this is the last race of the round of 8, I believe, but because of participation, there was a Wayne Scott gets the wall a little bit there in front of Kerry Klein. We actually only had 7 drivers tonight, and looking at those guys again, they were Peyton Keller, Jay Stinson, Patrick Hernandez, Chris Bingley, Kirby Wayne Scott, Samuel Katz, and Kerry Klein. Was kind of the 7 guys that made it in tonight. Kerry Klein being there at the bottom of the list, rounding out this top 7, definitely is going to be have a benefit towards the end of this with if he's able to pull out this win here. Have to see who makes it to the championship for next week at Martinsville. Sorry, I had a DM from someone trying to multitask here. I'm going to have to explain that. Definitely something wrong with my paints. I do believe it is the setting in iRacing that I have no idea what that setting is called or where it is now, because I've never messed with that setting after they updated the UI and all that crud. So that's unfortunate. I'll have to make sure the paints are fixed for next race. So yeah, if your paints are wrong, if the cars are wrong, I apologize. I'll get it fixed though for next week. as we hit up the championship race at Martinsville, which I'll try to add something special on here to where we can kind of track and watch who the championship for is and how that race is going for them, especially with how fast things change at Martinsville. The paperclip, super flat, super short, definitely going to be an exciting time. Do have Patrick Hernandez, our one and only driver cam participant tonight, hanging on to the 9th position as we saw him get loose a little bit and just not ever been able to recover from that incident. Not any cautions or anything to deal with damage or have the time to get any damage fixed. So people's hands are tied, if for a lack of better words, on got to get what you can get, deal with the damage, and hope for a caution, which we have yet to see tonight. Down to 19 laps to go here at Charlotte. Been an exciting one, but we're about to bring this thing to a close here. I still do believe they're going to be finishing this thing out green. I am not. I think the audience was right earlier before we made it to halfway, and there wasn't a caution, and 100% of everyone that voted said that they were going to end up finishing under green. So that is definitely what we are seeing here. Kerry Klein, Jay Stinson, Bradley King still rounding out your top three with Peyton Keller in fourth, Kirby Wayne Scott in fifth. Wayne Scott has about 3, almost 4 seconds to go to catch up to Peyton Keller. So it'll be interesting between those two. Wayne Scott has a lot fresher tires, almost 11 laps fresher tires than Keller. So I would expect Wayne Scott's probably going to be able to make up some time once he gets around the number 48 here. Get himself some clean air. And I don't believe there's anyone between them. No, you can see Wayne Scott right there just now off the exit of 2. Peyton Keller coming into turn 3. This is going to be our battle for position once these guys are able to get up to each other. And as you can see, Kirby Wayne Scott getting around that car and having clean track out ahead. We can see that interval kind of coming down here, especially in the corners. Peyton Keller with about a 3-second advantage over Wayne Scott. Kerry Klein about a 4-second advantage over Jay Stinson. So here in this last half of the race, Kerry Klein's really pulled away. Kind of running away with it here. Bradley King, Jay Stinson, they're split up by about 6 seconds. The real story here right now in this exact moment, though, is Wayne Scott and Keller. Keller hanging on with a little bit of damage. But you can see that interval just coming down, continuing to come down with Keller now maintaining about a 2.8 second advantage over Wayne Scott. This will be a battle for 4th position. I don't think Keller has lost any speed down the straightaways. Like watching the interval here is it stays pretty even on the straights. The spot that we're seeing the interval close massively is in the corners. Right now 2.6, I just think that damage on the splitter on the front end for Keller is making it just not able to carry the speed in the corners the same way that Wayne Scott can. And then you throw in the tire difference here. But we'll see. We're down to 12 laps to go here from Charlotte. And that gap isn't closing as much as I thought it was going to be. So this might be the difference between Keller and Wainscott here. Might be towards the end of the race before everything is said and done. Kerry Klein is still our race leader, 14 and a half second lead over second place Jay Stinson, third place Bradley King, fourth place Peyton Keller, fifth place Kirby Wainscott, and sixth place, the first and only car 1 lap down, is the number 21 of Kaiser Rydell. Seventh place, the number 42 of Sam Katz, currently scored as 2 laps down. Eighth place, Jason Anderson, and the number 26 currently scored 2 laps down. And the last car on the track currently is Patrick Hernandez in the number 11, scored in the 9th position, also 2 laps down. Inside of 10 laps to go here. We can see that gap between Peyton Keller and Kirby Wainscott down to just about a second and a half. Peyton Keller running that top line, trying to carry as much momentum as he can. Kirby Wainscott running the bottom, taking the shorter route around the track. You can see they're kind of in view with each other now, right on board with Kirby Wainscott, currently running 5th place. You can see Peyton Keller up there in the front. That gap is definitely closing down. Unfortunately, I need to add something to this to where I need to be able to get the interval to the car ahead or the position ahead. So we'll come out of that camera view and go back to this so that we can watch the timing a little bit. They are about a half second separated here. Both of them, considering they don't wreck trying to race each other, they're both going to walk away here with the top 5. About to be coming to 5 laps to go from Charlotte Motor Speedway in the last stand 400 with the Revenant Racing League. My name is Buddy Salee. Been your commentator tonight and producer. So, if you've enjoyed what you've seen, well, this is going to be the last time I say it as we're coming to 5 to go here. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week whenever we head to Martinsville to see how that race is going to shake out. But before we get there, we got to wrap this race up here. Been a long night, 200 laps, no cautions, a bunch of attrition with some of these drivers. Kerry Klein putting both Kirby Wainscott and Peyton Keller 1 lap down there. Kirby Wainscott right on the about 0.3 of a second, 0.4 of a second behind Peyton Keller for 4th place. Kirby Wainscott right there looking to the inside of Peyton Keller. This is for 4th position. Wainscott's going to have no issue. Peyton Keller just kind of holds the car to the high side and lets Wainscott go ahead and what the heck am I looking at? What the heck is going on here? No, that was that was Patrick Hernandez. Here's the battle for Kirby Wainscott looking to the inside of Peyton Keller. Peyton Keller running the middle of the track a little bit, not really pinching, not really taking Wainscott's line away or anything. We are at 2 laps to go here. Might come down to a last lap. Wainscott has the advantage on the inside. fighting it out here. Peyton able to carry the momentum down the backstretch, running that high side. Wayne Scott's going to have to be careful to not push wide. You can see the momentum as we're on the white flag with Kerry Klein, current race leader, Jay Simpson in second, Bradley King in third. But we do have a battle here for fourth place. I'm going to try to keep track of all this as it happens. Kerry Klein coming around, final lap off of turn 4. Going to cross the line and be tonight's race winner from Charlotte. Peyton Keller able to hold on to 4th position. Kirby Wainscott able to hold on to 5th position. Jay Stinson coming around, going to be your 2nd place finisher, followed by Bradley King making his way off of turn 4. We made it. We have made it to the finish. For those that watched along for the whole time, thank you very much. We'll sit here and watch Kerry Klein's burnout here. I wish I had the paint schemes right. Unfortunately, I do not. Kerry Klein leading 91 laps. Congratulations to Kerry Klein after the unfortunate stuff that happened to him last week at Talladega. All kinds of bad luck, and definitely turned around this week with tonight's race win. Jay Stinson is going to be your 2nd place finisher, followed by Bradley King in 3rd place finisher. And if we hide this right fast and we show the results, here's how week 11 at Charlotte shook up. Kerry Klein, your race winner. Jay Stinson, 2nd. Bradley King, 3rd. Peyton Keller able to hold on to 4th. Kirby Wainscott going to round out your top 5. Kaiser Rydell, 6th. Sam Katz, 7th. Jason Anderson, 8th. Patrick Hernandez, 9th. Toby Tripp, 10th. Chris Bingley, 11th. And Sean Harvey, 12th. Unfortunately, Toby had an incident, broke the car completely, wasn't able to continue, and then connection issues for Chris Bingley, and I believe it was the same type of situation for Sean Harvey. Now, see if I can figure out what the heck I need to do, if anything, because everyone is spread everywhere. So I think this is what I'm going to do tonight. I don't see Stinson in a channel, our 2nd place finisher. I do not see Kerry Klein in a channel, our race winner. And I don't see Bradley King in a channel. So, this is how we're going to do this. Instead of race interviews, we are just going to run down this right fast. It's been a really long night. We are about a little over 2 hours already. So I'm going to make this as painless as possible. And that is going to be pulling up my interviews thing without doing an interview and kind of recapping some stuff that happened. Bradley King in the number 28 able to come in 3rd. Started in 11th. His fastest lap was a 29.512. Looking at the movers, Bradley King, he was also the car that gained the most spots, up 11 or up 8 positions to his qualifying position. So congratulations to Bradley King grabbing the 3rd spot. Next up is our race runner up here of Jay Stinson, number 45, second place finish, started 3rd, led 3 laps. Fastest lap was a 29.584, up 1 position from where he started. Congratulations to him on the second place finish. And then our race winner, Kerry Klein, and the number 97 started 4th. Fastest lap was a 29.502 and led 91 laps after we saw the unfortunate circumstances that happened to Peyton Keller, happened to Patrick Hernandez, and nice recovery after spinning the same way that Peyton Keller did on pit exit for Jay Stinson here. Or the wrong person selected and looking at the right one. I already talked about Jay Stinson. Kerry Klein, strong race after last week having a little bit of attrition at Talladega, that track, and that race just not really cooperating too much with him. That being said, go over the VRN schedule right fast, and then I think I've held everyone here long enough with this broadcast that I am going to wrap it up myself, and I don't have a way to get updated who made what for next week, so we'll have to cover that pre-race. As far as the Vortex Racing Network schedule, we have, starting off tomorrow night, first thing in the evening, we have the SWC ARCA Series kicking off their race 1 of season 1, being broadcasted live by Alex Hillman. Right after that, right on the heels of that, we have Monday Mayhem going to Daytona, broadcasted live by Mean Gene Money and Zach Panzarella. Tuesday evenings, we have a rebroadcast for the Bonfire Racing League's Big Trucking Tuesdays, broadcasted by Mean Gene Money and Smokin' Joe. Wednesday nights, myself and Smokin' Joe cover the SWC Moonlight Gen 6 series. About 5 weeks into that series, and like I said, is covered by myself and Smokin' Joe. Thursdays, Kevin Kyle, KK in the booth, doing the Quantum Contender series, and I need to make that video a little bit longer, I think. And then rounding out the week on Sundays, on Sunday mornings, Sunday afternoons, we have a rebroadcast of the Bonfire Racing League Bonfire or Premier Cup Series, broadcasted by Mean Gene Money and Smokin' Joe. And then we round out Sunday evening with the Revenant Racing League Cup Series here that you just got finished watching. One more race left in this season. Have to be interesting to see who makes it to the Final Four next week at Martinsville. For the Vortex Racing Network, my name is Buddy Slee. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you next week right back here as we see how these drivers tackle Martinsville.